Harris is getting a lot of backlash for this comment that she made during a speech. Long story short, she made a comment in regards to "I told you so" in the midst of everything that's going on within our political climate. We're going to watch the clip today. Me personally, I don't want to say that I would have said the same thing, because I personally wouldn't have said the same thing. I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you got to read the room. But also, I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Mainly because it's like, there's a million and one things going on right now. Like, her making that slick comment like, "Oh, I told you so." Even Tim Walz, he disagreed with it. But the way people are really eating her up, I think it's one of those things when you just don't like somebody, when you made up in your mind, I don't like this person, any and anything they do is going to like leave a bad taste in your mouth. Honestly and truly. Before we begin today's video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media as we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Amen. Amen. VP Harris, she says, "Not here to say I told you so," in a sarcastic manner. And then she follows it up with saying, "We knew this would happen." My thing is this. My problem isn't the fact that she said it. My problem is that the Democrats didn't do enough to prevent it. Like, you're saying, "I told you so, I told you so." People knew what was going to happen. I think the problem that the Democrats aren't really fully understanding is that you did not offer enough for the average American to be like, okay, even though I know bad is going to happen if I choose this person, what you're offering me isn't better in my eyes. So therefore, I'm going to sit this one out, or I'm going to vote for this one. That's a sad reality. I think that's like this God honest truth. It's a sad reality, but it's something that the Democrats have to understand in order to move forward, especially if you want a fighting chance in 2028. You have to listen to your voters. They are not happy with what you are pushing. They are not happy with your agenda. They're not happy with your language. They are not happy. How many times do we have to go over the data? 2/3 of left-leaning voters said they wanted someone other than Biden. I personally think the Democrats just handed Trump the election. I think this was like a 4x4 race. They just handed him the baton to do the last lap. I kid you not. I'm just being honest. But let's go ahead and watch this clip and see what the uproar is about.
When a few stand with the courage, that is the courage exhibited by the leaders in this room every day, to stand, to have the courage to say, "I feel fear." The courage to say what is happening is wrong. The courage to say that there is a way that we must chart to get through this. Understanding our power in the democracy we still have if we hold on to it. Courage is contagious.
What could have been, everyone? What could have been? That, of course, was former Vice President Kamala Harris speaking at a summit of women leaders earlier this evening. It's one of the first times we've seen her speak out since her November election loss. She hasn't been out there a ton. We'll see if she comes out more. She also spoke about the current state of fear in our country.
We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, you know, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here to say I told you so.
Honestly and truly, watching it back, it's actually worse off than when I first watched it. I'm not gonna lie, because when I first watched the clip, I was like, I mean, it's not too bad. Like, it's not national news, because they were talking about it. They even asked Tim Walz about it too on CNN. I'm like, it's not really national news. Now that I'm watching it back, I'm just like, okay, I can see more and more where the frustration is coming in, because that comment, "I told you so," or she said, "I'm not here to say I told you so." Buki, like, what do you mean? Like, here to tell you I told you so. What did y'all do though? What did y'all do to combat it? Like, I'm just so confused. It's a lot of like the blame game. It's a lot of blame game. It's a lot of, oh, I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. I will say, I do want to address one of the previous comments that she made in regards to like a lot of organizations staying quiet and so forth. People have to understand, a lot of these organizations or people who are playing both sides in a sense, it has to do with funding. A lot of people and organizations, nonprofits, or however you want to group them, they don't want to have their funding cuts. There's so many funding cuts that are happening right now, and I understand the concept of where she said we can't be fearful. But a lot of people's reality is like, yeah, we can't be fearful, but at what cost? I think that's something to keep in mind. But the comment itself, something that I just don't get about the Democrats, I just generally don't, and I don't think I can ever understand, is that we allocate so much time talking about how bad Trump is, but we don't allocate enough time proposing policy that can combat him. Like, I just don't get it. We cannot continue to run on Trump is this, Trump is that. Buki. People know what Trump is. People know what Trump is. That is not the issue. People don't care because you did not offer them something better. That is a sad truth. I'm telling you right now, and mark my words, if this continues in 2028, Democrats, you don't even have a fighting chance. They don't even have a fighting chance. Hence, like, some Republicans are upset with how Donald Trump has been running the country within the first 4 months of his presidential election, or within the first month of his presidential term. If Republican voters at the end of Trump's term is like, yeah, I do not like how he ran this last term, I'm going to look into the Democratic Party. I think the Democratic Party, from a strategy standpoint, they need to start putting people in the faces of the American people. And when I say people, I'm not talking about Gavin Newsom, with all due respect. If you want a fighting chance, you need to get somebody who is moderate within the Democratic Party, who has a history with working with both sides of the aisle on a national level. That is where the country is. So like this, the comment, oh, we knew this would happen, it just makes you look worse. I'm not gonna lie, not necessarily even her, but just the Democratic Party in general. Like, you're saying we knew this was going to happen, but Biden didn't drop out until what, 100 days before the race? Put you in a position to where you only could run a campaign in 100 days? And technically not really putting you in a position because we didn't have a primary. It's almost like they, the DNC or whoever chose you to be in a position to run the 100 days. A lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I think there's a lot of finger pointing and not a lot of internal review, and that's where the Democrats are lacking. Let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. What do you think she really meant about the comment? Do you think people are reading too much into it? Let me know. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media as we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Uduak, connecting people with policy. Toodles!